Lift up your hands, every one of you. You journeyed from your house to this place to meet a prophet. And upon the grace of my husband and I release grace for 2022.
Amen.
I'm joining faith with my wife. You must understand, if you go to Luke 5, the story, the encounter of Jesus and Simon Peter, the Bible made us to understand that Peter, being a professional fisherman, he had been a fisherman all his life. Peter was not new to fishing business. Peter was a born fisherman. But the Bible says on that particular day, all through the night, he labored just for a fish. All he wanted was just an evidence to go home for his family to know that truly he went out fishing. He wanted something for the world to see that his labor was not in vain. He just wanted just a fish. And all through the night, he looked, he fought, he put all his skills, all his knowledge, he brought it into play. But the more he fought, the more the forces of nature, the more life resisted him. Not even one fish responded. And in the morning, Peter accepted faith the way it came. The Bible said he was washing his nets, ready to go home. For Peter, it was over. Because as a fisherman, he knew that the best time to fish was in the night. And if you miss it at that moment, you have missed it. And for Peter, it was over. He was ready to go home. He wanted to go home. He wanted to go home the next day, empty. And lo and behold, a man came forth. He came with a crowd of people. And he said, Peter, give me your boat. Peter, not knowing who the man is, not understanding what was happening. At that time, the ministry of Jesus was not yet prominent. Peter didn't know who he was. There was nobody to explain him. But something in him said, I must decrease that he might increase. Peter, even in his frustration, surrendered his boat. What was his boat? That was what the instrument he used for fishing. He surrendered it to Jesus. He said, Lord, I may not understand what is happening, but who am I to say no if you want it? And as soon as he gave it to Jesus, precious people, he was patient. He waited till Jesus was done preaching. And when Jesus was done preaching, Jesus looked at this man and said to him, Peter, launch the net again. And Peter looked at him and called him Master. I have toiled all through the night. He used the word toiled. I have labored effortlessly all through the night. But nevertheless, the word nevertheless means let me be a fool just to prove you. I may not understand. I may not be able to interpret what you are doing. But this is beyond my human comprehension. But Lord, let me nevertheless launch the net. While he launched the net, all fishes, Azunehiona, Mandegra retirement, Mandineba me wedded. Peter Biko Cheremo Kampa. Peter Biko Cheremo Kampa. The same hand that was about to go home empty began to call his neighbors, come and help and share in this blessing. There is something called grace. Grace is God running your race. It is called G-race. It is called grace. It is God ahead of you. And grace is a person. His name is Jesus. And he's here today. And I join faith with my wife in the name that is above every other name.
Amen.
Everyone here who have toiled effortlessly, labored, sweated, fought hard like a man, fought hard like a woman to keep the peace of your family, to sustain your business, to have evidence in life. And the more you fight, it looks like nothing is coming forth. In the name that is above every other name, grace replace your labor.